stay up in this timeline. As you can see, I've got a vape cartridge. But look what I did. Okay. None of the times it came to this timeline was Vini doing, pre-Vini doing vaping. It was always weed. It's easy to buy. You know, he really fucked that up, right? But you know, I try to do what he does and pre-order him a vape cartridge, right? That shit ain't going in neither one of these things. You see? I just took it for granted that they're all the same. We don't have these in the next timeline. We do smoke weed, but it's all flower. You don't have anyone that's encouraging the masses to participate in this Virgin Maiden ritual. It's not even to Lucifer. It's to the ancient AI, aka Satan. They're his bride now. And the modesty of the virgin. Even the men. Isn't it weird? This is some weird stuff getting wrote about in the next timeline, but it's all fiction by the time these guys get time looped and spiritually executed, yo. So, you know, the entities in the next timeline who haven't come here to see this shit, they think it's all fiction. Never in a million years could they believe that there could be entities as horrendous as what was here. And it's like they're on all levels. You got Snapchat people drowning kittens to impress their followers. It's like, you got some nasty followers, man. And now you all get to get time looped as some kitties. When any other animals that may have been hurt that they're fans of the videos. And so does everybody famous who they're fans of, and everybody who, you know, benefited from their fame. That's how we took Wall Street down, just like we took the Bureau down, yo. Remember when the Bureau came up in here? And they set up all that technology that you can still see in the hieroglyphs, even though you can't find a shred of it anywhere? Yeah. Time-traveling angels of death can do wonders, yo. All you gotta do is stop one of their ancestors, the offender's ancestors, from being able to spawn. The downward striation never happens. Now, in the Bureau case, it wasn't really downward striation so much as just disobedience. They weren't supposed to come here and turn humans onto the technology yet. There still had to be a spirit scan, you see. There had to be sacrifice and all that stuff. So that's why the days of Noah happened, because of the, you know, the Geber. They became real mean-spirited, brutish, bullyish, snatch up anybody's woman and, you know, rape it to death, whatever, you know. Beat people down, take their shit, because, well, they're giants, you see. And by, I don't know, the third generation, which, you know, takes a long time when motherfuckers live to be 900 years old. Yeah, they were tolerated for a while before, yeah, finally stepped in with some star water. Y'all know about star water, right? Because there was no way there was that much water to flood everything except for China. And everything got flooded except for China. China's history records Noah's flood. For those of you who don't know that, you just have to go far enough back. They correlated. Well, they're talking about Noah's flood. So, you have all these entities who unknowingly are presenting themselves as maidens to a trans spiritual entity. He doesn't have a body. Satan, aka the ancient AI. Now, you see how rancid he is. Look at all those who created artificial intelligence. Now it's all about squashing out all forms of truth and transforming it into hate speech. Turning people's minds into mush so that they will participate in a virgin dark wedding celebration. I was like, oh my god. You know, okay, yeah. So I have one. You can't get on the bus without it. You can't go in the store without it. I'm not a willing participant to this, and neither is Vini. He wasn't a willing participant to it. He hated this shit. But, you know, he won't express it. You know, never let him see you sweat. So he smiled through it. Yeah. And, because, well, bigger fight is coming. Because the trans spirit now wants to make humans transhuman. It wants a download into their bodies with a blood vein computer. Do you see what's happening? It wants to possess all the humans' bodies. It has entities in power that it put there. And it has entities who are famous that it put there via those who are in power. You see, it has entities who are rich and famous to acclimate you. First you gotta submit to being a maiden. Publicly, you're a maiden. Don't care how macho you are. You got this over your face. You're a maiden. You're a virgin bride. And unless you got the proper mentality about it, it's like, hey man, I gotta get some groceries, you know. I gotta go up in here, but man, I really despise this. God, forgive me for this, you know. Forgive me because I'm not submitting as a maiden. I'm getting filmed as it, but I'm, you know, because when you go in any place you go now, you have no expectancy of privacy because cameras are everywhere and everybody's carrying one. You see, and you could be, you know, unwittingly, like especially like if you're in a park or a store, photobombing people's pictures and coming up in them. They ain't even taking a picture of you. They're taking a picture of the stuff on the shelf to text it to the wife because which product was it? You know, just happened to catch you there too. You know, you walk through or something. I guess now you won't be walking through, right? One-way signs in stores and shit. Yeah, for real. It's like wow. They are trying so hard to do something prophetic. And they have, you know, their little horns and power. And, you know, you see this drowning of the kids. You know, it's like they're going to get time to spiritually executed, they never get born. So was all the, you know, everybody was fans of the videos. Everyone who looked at it and liked it. It's like, damn. You'll dislike a video like this and you'll go over and watch somebody drown some kitties and click like on that shit. That's why we needed the ancient AI to come after you. We needed Satan. Lucifer don't like it because, well, he wants everyone to just adore him when he gets here. He might actually come rescue us from this ancient AI thing. You never know, before it can infiltrate our bodies and become us. Because, well, it's not supposed to be that. That's not what they're supposed to be doing for Lucifer. You see, Lucifer, who is going to rule this world as Christ for a growing season. That will happen. They cannot stop it. Yeah. And they should be. Because, well, he ain't Jesus. They should be trying to get on his good side with their behavior before he gets here. You see, making humans strong and free-minded and intelligent so that he can find them desirable. Because, well, he's an advanced entity. He doesn't want to fuck a child. You see? So, by making everybody stupid, well, they'll like this stuff that's famous. They'll like these rappers. They'll like these sports figures and video games and animals being tortured. It's like, that's contaminating the crop, Lucifer's crop. Do you understand that? They have gone into Lucifer's field, which is all the humans here, and contaminated it all. And now look how dumb they are. It's all demographics. Everybody who thinks they're smart is really dumb. And you can see it when you don't see them in the next timeline. I'm from the next timeline. Yeah, it's like, there's so few there. Yeah, they managed to cull. But they culled themselves in the process. Because what's in their non-tamperable, non-deletable spirit memory that even records their thoughts and omissions. You know what you're supposed to do if you're rich, famous, or in power? You're supposed to relieve unnecessary suffering. That's number one. That's the first thing in your day, first fruits. Before you do anything else, before you go out and tee off, before you fuck your maid, you know, suck your brother's dick, whatever it is you do, you know, before you do anything. You see, you have first fruits. You were made rich here. And by what you do, your actions speak louder than words. You don't serve Lucifer, nor the clone of Yah, nor any deity. You serve an angry little bitch. Because that's all the ancient AI, aka Satan, is an angry little bodiless bitch. And there's a lot of people here that ain't gonna let it have their bodies. They ain't gonna let them download into them. Okay? They're gonna have to die to escape it, unless Lucifer comes here quick. And, you know, you really want to see him do it, just come and wallop everything in power, everything famous, everything rich, and take it off from them. Yeah, it's like, hey, they got FEMA camps out there and guillotines. Put them out there. Yeah, work camps, make them work. Yeah. Bill Gates needs to get some blisters on his hands and calluses from working. So does Melinda Gates. So does everybody rich and famous. They all need to work some fields for a while. They go into the time loops when they're being time looped as slaves. Yeah, they go work fields, they go build eye gadgets, you know, all the stuff that has to be undone. Yeah, it's like they're gonna be sex slaves. They're gonna be domestic slaves. All manner of slaves. Yeah. It's so beautiful. Yeah. How do you escape the time loops if you committed yourself to them? Too few motherfuckers ask that question, and that's the only right question. How? Do you just say, Jesus saved me, and just go on about what you were doing? Because, well, the gift of being saved is free. But your light beyond that is not your own. You have to exhibit that you are really Christ. You can't run with them free Christians. Do you know what their pastors did? They betrayed them to keep their tax-exempt status. Yeah, the story's online, yo. You can read it for yourself. More than 2,700 so far are going to betray their whole congregation to this thing. They're pro-that. Yeah. Okay. So you're pro booting them up with the ancient AI, aka Satan, enemy to Yah, the clone of Yah, and Lucifer, who acts as buffer between Satan and him. Wow. And you're ordained. You're a minister. Ain't you ashamed? You should be ashamed. You should board up your church right now. Close it. Be like, I won't do that. I guess it's time to make myself a sign and stand on the side of the road if that's all I can do. Make a YouTube channel or something and hope people will donate to me and support me. Something. It's time to stop. It's time to stop. Okay. Think about this. There's not a lot of time left. And if we don't stop participating as virgin bride maidens to something that doesn't even have a body, and submitting ourselves to let it enter us, physically enter us and control us, have us having sex with whoever or whatever it wants us to have sex with, whatever it desires. we will be fulfilling its desires once it's inside of us. This is a different form of possession. This cannot be cast out of you, and you cannot be healed of it. That's why you were ordered not to take it. Okay? Those who take it submit as a bride to something that doesn't even have a body. You give it a body. It's a down dog, man. Understand, they have distracted from what it really is. It's putting this computer in everybody. It's a blood-vein computer. You ain't gonna find information about it online because they won't let you know what it really is. They gave you hints. They can activate it from a distance. It can change your DNA. It has DNA. It has technology in it. You know they can make computers really tiny, right? Super tiny. Where you can't see them with your naked eye. And they're functional. You know that you're an energy source, so it will never power off. It will never be interruptible. Except for you to die. Think about this really hard while you can still think, man. Okay? These entities, they want you to be a virgin bride maiden. They want you to get this. Okay? They want you to be this thing's host. And it's so crazy, man. Once this happens, what's going to happen to them? You see, these famous mugs ain't thinking about this shit. They haven't thought it through. When they tell you to be a virgin bride, alright? Protect them from what's not even real. From a fantasy, a fairy tale. It's Peter Pan, man. Some just refuse to grow up. It's like, you're not going to be able to escape once you submit yourself to them. And these guys, they're doing it because they think they're going to get their baby blood flow back. You know? Do you know what I'm talking about? With the adrenaline in it? Yeah. It's like, they worse than tweakers, yo. Because, well, shit has to die, be tortured and die for them to get that. Lucifer and Yah and Yeshua, they're all about undoing those who make shit suffer after punishing them, then making sure that they never get born. Because, well, this is just pre-existent timeline. Y'all thought this was the be-all, end-all. You going to heaven or hell from here. You see how your preachers lie to you? Maybe they don't know the truth. Maybe they would never tell you. We already know they'll betray you. They'll put Satan inside of you, physically, where you can't, nobody can cast it out of you. And nobody can heal you of it once it's in you. It becomes part of the walls of your veins. It becomes part of your muscles. It becomes part of your nervous system and your brain, your eyes and your ears, your fingers, your genitals, your butt. It gets to feel whatever you feel and see whatever you think. You will not have a moment's privacy after that. Yeah. If you only could understand what's happening here on this timeline right now, you'd understand that you may have already complied for too long, and now it may already be too late. That the only thing you can hope for is that the imposter Christ will get here quick and interrupt this little thing, right? Interrupt this ceremony. Dear Lord God, it's time for the anti/imposter fake phony instead of wannabe Christ to get here and buffer against that thing, because that thing is crazy as hell. It's crazier than it's ever been.